Sri Ravi Shankar Gurudev was born on 13th May 1956. He is a famous spiritual leader, frequently referred as Sri as Guru or Gurudev. He founded the Art of Living Foundation in 1981. In 1997, he established a Geneva based charity, the International Association for Human Values. Maharshi Mahesh was his guru. Government of India honored him with Padma Vibhushan. His vision is a violence-free, stress world. He was born in Papanasham in Tamil Nadu. He was named as Ravi because he was born on Sunday. Shankar, after a 18th century Hindu saint Adi Shankaracharya, whose birthday was the same day as Ravi Shankar. Swami Sundara Chaitanya's Gita Jnana Yagna have marked a new epoch in the history of Hindu culture. And our Guru and Master, he revolves us to make each one of us morally strong, spiritually evolved, and ethically good. His work will help us to lead towards perfection or salvation. He was the greatest devotee of higher order. He touches the heart of millions of people with his divine grace. His writings and speeches have succeeded in presenting the scientific conclusions of the Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, and Itihasas. His vast knowledge, oratory, literary, and intellectual skills have been fully utilized by Swamiji in training our generation to live the Hindu way of life. Swamiji is a Chinmayananda Saraswati was a world famous spiritual leader born on May 6, 1916. He was a spiritual teacher who inspired the formation of Chinmaya Mission in 1953 to spread the message of Vedanta. He translated the Gita in English, played an important role in the propagation of the text across the world to all age groups. The tragedy of human history is decreasing happiness in the midst of increasing comfort. The Guru is nothing but pure consciousness, bliss, and eternal wisdom. Live morality before Leave morality before you talk to him. Practice meditation before you preach. Goodness taste before you recommend. Gain bliss before you offer to others. These are the precious ideas of Chinmayananda Saraswati. To love and to be loved is the greatest happiness. Introspect daily, detect diligently, negate ruthlessly. Moksha is not freedom from action, but freedom in action. I came and joined in Methodist school in Abbots in Hyderabad, and mentally I was stabilized. By the bless of God, I came into contact with few superhuman beings. Physical and biological laws won't work on them. God is my Father, God is my Guru. God made me to expose to or think about these people and made them to see these great people. Man wants food for his survival. Man or woman can continue to take food which contains vitamin A, B, C, D, and K for better growth and development. As soon as he or she won't consume these food items, there would not be any proper development. Doctors and scientists says that everybody, every day, man or woman should consume more than 4 liters of water to run all the metabolic activities properly in the body. He should take more than he or she should take more than 1500 calories of energy from different foods. If he, if he won't take food for some time, the energies in us would be exhausted and would face weakness and face many problems. He won't consume, if he won't consume food for one day, the stored energy would be consumed by the body of the individual. If he or she won't take food for 10 days, the body gets its energy from the muscles, then from the bones and other parts of the body. If he won't consume for 20 days, all the energies which were stored in the body would come to an end. And the when I was in 7th class, my uncle, Mr. Jaggaya, told me that he saw a wonderful person in East Godavari who had been doing meditation since his childhood without taking food or water or milk for more than 30 years. He completed his tapas or meditation 30 years without food. He told me that he could sit in a house and the doors were locked by the government officials, and only on Shivaratri the doors would be open and he could be seen by the public the next day. Then the door will be closed after 24 hours. I was surprised to listen it, and I had a desire to see this person or this yogi. Later I came to know about his when I read a book called Later I came to know about him when I read a book called Hinduism in Space Age, written by Dr. Vedavyasa IAS, who worked as district collector of East Godavari district. He collected so much of information about these yogis. He wrote many things about Pedabala Yogi and about Chinnabala Yogi, his brother Chinnabala Yogi. Pedabala Yogi, when he was 12 years of age, one day he sat in meditation under a tree. He continued 1 or 2 days without taking food and water. His parents and villagers were surprised to see this incident. When I was in 7th class, my uncle, he saw a wonderful person in East Godavari who had been doing meditation since his childhood without taking food or water or milk for more than 30 years. He completed his tapas or meditation 30 years without food. He told me that he could sit in a house and the doors were locked by the government officials, and only on Shivaratri the doors would be open and he could be seen by the public till the next day. Then the door will be closed after 24 hours. I was surprised to listen it, and I had a desire to see this person or this yogi. Later I came to know about is when I read a book called Later I came to know about him when I read a book called Hinduism in Space Age, written by Dr. Vedavyasa IAS, who worked as district collector of East Godavari district. He collected so much of information about these yogis. He wrote many things about Pedabala Yogi and about Chinnabala Yogi, his brother Chinnabala Yogi. Pedabala Yogi, when he was 12 years of age, one day he sat in meditation under a tree. He continued 1 or 2 days without taking food and water. His parents and villagers were surprised to see this incident. They made him to come out from the samadhi state by force. Again, he sat in the same place and started doing meditation. He was not taught by any gurus or he was not initiated by any yogis into this tapas or meditation. The elders of the village gathered and asked him about his practice. Balayogi explained many things to the parents and the village people. He told them that he was practicing this yoga from many births. He told him that in this birth he is continuing the same, and this birth is the last for himself, as he would get salvation in this birth. He asked the people to not to disturb or not to worry about him. My reading habit in different libraries. Books are my never failing friends. I had developed the habit of book reading since my childhood. When I was in 3rd or 4th class in Gajwel, I used to go to library and read the books of Mitra Labam and Mitra Bedam and Chandamama. I read small books of Ramayana and Mahabharata with beautiful pictures. I came to Hyderabad where I became a regular reader in Shaka Library, Gauligoda. It is very near to my home. I paid money and took its membership. In the course of time, I realized that neither the teachers nor the tutors can fulfill our desires of improving our knowledge. So I decided to improve my wisdom by reading the great books. I understood the value of reading habit and improved this habit. In the beginning, I didn't understand the subject matter clearly in the books, but when I improved my vocabulary strength, I had started gaining knowledge in different fields. At the same time, I had started purchasing the books and read them. Some people will have the habit of buying the books, but they won't read them due to lack of reading habit. When I have joined in inter first year, I took my membership in State Library in Afzalganj. It is the biggest library in Andhra Pradesh and it is having lakhs of books in it. I used to go and sit in this library and used to read the books which I like very much. When I joined in MBS homeopathy, I used to go and read books in Sri Ramakrishna Matam. I paid fee and took membership in Ramakrishna Matam library. I read only few books in this library. I read only few books in this library. I had a strong desire to have membership in British Library. I paid the fee and took the membership. Sometimes I visited this library and took books to my room and read them. Because of this library only, I saw Queen Elizabeth. She came to this library and stayed couple of minutes. I saw her very closely. It was a wonderful moment in my life. These libraries helped me in acquiring knowledge related to different fields. I used to go Chikkadpalli library and read the books related to competitive examinations. I had purchased a number of books related to my course, my study, and related to other. I don't know about Swami Rama till 2015. Somebody told me about him. He was a he was a great yogi, and my subconscious mind started working about this yogi. One day I clicked in the internet about his books in Amazon in. Names of his work displayed. I have purchased the book Himalayan Yogis online. It is a autobiography of Swami Rama. When I read this book, I didn't feel about time. Within 1 week, I have completed this book. Every day, I read this book more than 5 hours. I was deeply involved in it while reading this book. At the same time, I have opened number of videos in YouTube and listened to him. I have listened to him Mandukopanishad, Patanjali Raja Yoga Sutras, his other works. I was in Samadhi like state while I was watching these videos. Since then, I have been playing him and following his techniques. I felt abundance of power in his book and in him. Soul is eternal, it is will exist even after death. This statement is 100% truth that I realized through this book. Power of Bengali Baba, the Guru of Swami Ramadas. Ramadas' way of teaching, way of giving knowledge to his disciples, and simplicity of Gurus were revealed in this book. I got so much of clarity on different spiritual concepts. Concept of soul, eternity of soul, life before life, life after life, power of mantras, power of willpower and body, power of astral travel, concept of parakraya pravesha, power of taking one new body by giving away old body, power of soul to show its existence even after death, power to give life, power of astrology, power of sadhus on nature, power of Himalayas, power of great saints, greatness of Mahatma Gandhi, power of Vedas, and many other concepts were revealed very clearly, and I understood all the concepts clearly. My relationship with Swami Ji extended as his disciple. I don't consider him as a mortal one. He is immortal, and all his gurus are immortal and they are equivalent to God. Because of Swami Rama, my faith in God, my faith in gurus, my faith in sadhus, my faith in saints increased 1,000 times. My trust and faith in Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Swami Vivekananda, Swami Shivananda Maharaj, Sai Baba Puttaparthi also increased. The experiments of Swami Rama's Guru on his disciples about permanency of existence soul created strong impression in me. With this, I realized that all souls are eternal. My perception towards divine people changed. Great books will have great power and life in them to change our lives. The story of my computer education. If you have concentration power, you will know the secrets of the world. I knew about computer and its effects in 1979 only. I knew about internet in 1980 in a book called Many Mansions written by Edgar Cayce. The concept of internet was clearly explained in his book. Edgar Cayce's mind worked universally and collected the data from different corners of the world. The author of the book explained about internet as network of networks. Clearly, I came to know that our former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi encouraged computer technology in the universities in 1980s. I had been paying attention on the concepts of computer and understanding the uses of computer. Some of knowledge person told me that if we want to learn computer course, we should need the knowledge in maths. I was poor in mathematics due to poor teachers under whom I was taken tuition and education. In degree, I was under the influence of arts subjects but had habituated to read science and technology oriented articles in the papers. Mr. Rajaram, a friend of me, went to computer institution by paying money and he left the course by not understanding the concepts. He wasted so much of money. My nephew K. Srinivas was a graduate from commerce, paid money and joined in the PGDCA course in some computer institution. And he too dropped from the course as he did not understand the concepts properly. By seeing the failures of different people around me, I thought learning computer course is not possible to me. So I did not attempt to join in the computer course till 1997 in Khammam. In 1996, I came to Khammam district and joined in government high school Naglavancha. We have a single section school. At 7 p.m. I used to go school and used to come back home by 3 p.m. I had a lot of time to do other activities at home in the evening. One day I was on the walking in the evening. I saw a poster on the wall that one institution was giving free coaching in diploma in computer course. I got one idea to test my aptitude in computer course and decided to join in that institution. I don't have confidence in me that I can learn the computer course, but I decided to test my mind whether I can learn the computer course or not. I took Sampath to that institution as he knew the owner of that institution, as he knew the owner of that institution. Mr. Sampath was a clerk in our school and he introduced me to the faculty member and I paid 125 rupees and joined in the institution. The institution was having 6 black and white computers. They can run on floppy disks. There was no color computer. I had purchased one floppy and attended the class. Most of the students belonged to intermediate and degree courses. I was the senior most student in that institution. I didn't have any classmate of my age. I asked my colleagues to come and join with me, but nobody joined. I only started going to the institute. The teachers was not teaching the teachers were not teaching well. The teachers were interested in the girl students only. Most of the students were coming to the in my school at Government High School Naglavancha. Mr. B. Sudhakar, Deputy UO, provided 2 computers. I took the in charge of computer lab. The institution who came to my school were my batchmates, the instructors in Khammam institution. My school children learned many things in computers. I list I gave them theory knowledge. I taught them word fundamental concepts of computer. My colleagues never shown interest in learning computer. My HM tried to learn some concept but unable to learn anything. Most of the people don't have power of concentration and determination to learn new things. Unless until we have calmness and concentration power, could not we could not learn the new courses. People are no teacher had shown interest in to learn computer courses, though the government provided free coaching. Our education system is filled with vast irresponsible idiots. Example, our school was allotted 6,000 rupees for electrical repairs. Our HM took many money and bought 2 unskilled persons to repair our cable system. He paid them only 1,000 rupees and they repaired partially. They went home by giving wrong connections when we came to the school next day at 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., some smoke started coming out from the windows, and when I opened the windows, 2 computers were burning. Our so called PT ran away from the scene and asked me to go away. Other teachers also went and stand at faraway place. I cut off the wires and switched off all the plugs and brought out 10 computers outside and brought out all the books and cables from the lab. One computer was totally burnt. I was angry at our HM because he was the cause for all this destruction. His involvement in corruption was the main cause for this small catastrophe. No teacher responded properly. Everybody was selfish and egocentric, and they were timid fellows. Immediately, I called the NEET institution and informed about short circuit. They came and repaired the computers and arranged new cables, and lab was cleared and systems were arranged with new cables and started functioning within 2 weeks. Most of the teachers and HM are corrupt, most of them are selfish, most of them are timid and chicken hearted, most of them aren't response in time, most of them are jealous, most of them are ignorant, and most of them are unable to update themselves according to the time. I gave computer education to my school children and to my children effectively. September 11th incident destroyed the dreams of many people in the computer world. I too lost the hopes of going US, but I didn't stop learning new courses in the role of money in my life. My father was a businessman. By birth, he was not a rich man. They used to live in Tigul, a village 15 kilometers away from Gajwal. My mother told me that after our marriage, only they started making money. In 1960, my father came to Gajwal and started doing business. In Gajwal, my father made money and our family became one of the richest family in Gajwal. Till my 7th class, I didn't know anything about money. We used to take money from my mother and used to go Delhi Wala Hotel where we used to have gulab jamun. We used to take money from my mother and used to go cinemas very often. Whenever we need money, we would go and take from shops and my father used to pay the money to them. When we came Hyderabad, we knew the value of money. In ninth and 10th class, my brother used to look after me. But in inter first year, I understood the power of money and we faced financial problems. I was in need of a little bit of money. Whenever I was in need of money, I used to go to transport in Usmanganj and collect the money from the Muni, Munims. Each time I had collected 10 rupees. After a few months, my father started objecting me. By the bless of God, I have passed the intermediate with first class. I have appeared in MBBS entrance test, but I did not get the seat. I and Mr. Raja Reddy went to Bangalore to know about capitation fee in Rangaya Medical College. My father ruthlessly rejected my proposal to join in MBBS by paying capitation fee. But my father paid capitation fee to Manohar and he was joined in engineering college. My bad days started. I joined in MBS. I had joined in MBS homeopathy and discontinued. Whenever I asked a little bit of my money to my father didn't treated me well and the gap between me and my father started increasing. I used to keep aloof from myself from my father. The financial troubles and problems day by day increased. I had led a very simple life. I used to ride cycle. I used to go on my bicycle everywhere. I have faced severe problems to pay my examination fees. My brother became lazy. My brothers became lazy fellows. Proud, lust, anger, and many other negative factors dominated on them. First and third brothers were Thomasic in their nature. They disturbed my father's mind. Elder brother broke his marriage through court, and my father paid huge amount to his wife. Elder brother became source of disturbance or destruction of our wealth and stability in our family. Because of his worst behavior and worst activities, my father and entire family became weak mentally and financially and socially. My father lost his interest in making money. He became weak physically and mentally. No brother was in a position to stand by my father. All these issues made us to suffer in Hyderabad. I had fear about my future. Time passed rapidly. I had completed BA, MA, and B.Ed by the blessing of God. I lost contact with my friends and so on. I don't know what to do in future. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa asked us to not to become slave to money and women, Kanta and Kanakam. If you want to come close to God, and I want to spiritual progress. His words have tremendous impact on me and my life. I never gave importance to any money and women. I never tried to run after them. But God looked after me well. He made me to appear for B.Ed course surprisingly. He made me to establish a school as soon as I completed my MA B.Ed. We want to establish a small school in Saidabad. I didn't have 500 rupees with me. Nobody around me came forward to help me. My brothers became selfish and self centered. They fell in the web of family problems and financial problems. My with my face value and hard work, we money is so powerful element. Ordinary people can easily become victim to it. Money makes many things on many occasions, but it cannot work well on some occasions. If we have money, ordinary people can respect us irrespective of our character. If we don't have money, people won't give us value. For the sake of money matters, Mr. R.R. family disturbed their friendship with me. Almost all of my brothers proved themselves as money minded people. They behave like animals for the sake of money. My sister also angry with my mother for the sake of money only. Money brings out proud in him or her and won't care anybody. Have a bad days, won't care her husband if he won't make sufficient money. A wife won't care her husband if he won't make sufficient money. The entire world is running after the money. Only few people with higher values cannot come under the influence of money. I gave importance to human values rather than money. When my father was with money, thousands of people approached him. When my father stopped making money, he was not respected well. The people neglected him. To punish my elder brother, my father stopped showing interest in making business in money and in business. Finally, he became moneyless person and people didn't give him the value. This is the great mistake of my father. God gave me money on many occasions, but I didn't save money. So I faced many problems. Many occasions I became penniless. Penniless person will never have value in the society. Manohar made so much of money for many years. He behaved as if he made so much of money. He was not in a position to deceive anybody. I felt that he had developed some spiritual values in him and he won't deceive anybody for the sake of money. I he kept my money with him for more than 10 years. He promised me to provide a plot with my money. His real nature was not understood by me. When the time came, his real nature was revealed. He spoke many lies. His mask was removed. He openly deceived me and his cunning nature was exposed. He proved himself as a man of money, but not a man with values. He was a brutal. God saved me from his brutality. God helped me, and God fulfilled our desires to purchase an apartment in a right place. He wants only money and nothing else. For the sake of money, fathers are killing sons. For the sake of money, sons and daughters are killing their mothers and fathers. For the sake of money, brothers are killing one another. For the sake of money, husbands are killing wives and vice versa. Almost all of my brothers disturbed my father for the sake of money. My wife and daughters are not carrying money. They don't know the value of money. I was making debts and fulfilling their wishes and desires. At present, I didn't have any friend who can solve my financial problems. Mr. Praveen saw helping with his influence. I am extremely thankful to him for his help. Some of my colleagues are helping, having money, but they won't help me as they won't trust me. When I was in, my mother Saraswati Mata blessed me, Durga Mata blessed me, but Lakshmi Mata didn't bless me as I expect. From couple of months have been praying Lakshmi Mata for her bless. She has been helping me when I am in financial problem. I have a strong belief in Mataji that very soon all my financial problem would be solved and she will bless me with sufficient wealth. If my mother Lakshmi Mata wouldn't bless me in February 2015, I wouldn't have purchased my apartment. If my mother wouldn't have blessed me, I wouldn't have joined my son in nice college. I hope all my debts would clear off in near future. God provided me different powerful mantras to overcome all my problems. I had been chanting them and I am seeing the results of those mantras. In my near future, I will see more and more results. All the divine mantras are stabilizing in me. I think God is leading me in right and powerful path. To make money, there are millions of ways were there. Among them, only few ways are legal and accepted by the society. God gave me the best profession to make money. To make money, some people were selling liquors which are very harmful to life. To make money, some people are doing prostitution. To make money, some people are doing smuggling of heroin, charas or opium, which are harmful to human being. To make money, some people are adulterating food items. To make money, some people are blackmailing, kidnapping, and to make money, some people are doing murders. To make money, some people are involving in gambling. To make money, some people are doing so many criminal activities. Most of the people doing physical work to make money. To make money, valuable profession are few. Teaching is the best profession and dignified profession. God gave me this wonderful profession and had been doing my duty perfectly and serving the people wholeheartedly. To make money, one of my childhood friend went to America before 25 years illegally. He had been staying there like a thief. He lost everything. He was unable to attend the death ceremony of his son. One of my uncle went to Andhra to make money. He lost all his relationship with his family members. To make money, thousands of people had been going to Gulf countries, leaving all their family members and spending lives as slaves. Many people are doing many professions for the sake of bread and butter. I also left my family members and stayed far away from my native place for more than 17 years. If I had been sufficient financial background, I wouldn't have lived Hyderabad city. But in going far away place, I had learned many valuable things in my life. By the bless of God, I joined in nice profession. By the bless of God, I am doing right profession. By the bless of God, I would complete this profession very nicely, and by the bless of God, I can lead my life in a perfect, peaceful way. तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी ज्ञानभ्योऽपि मताधिकः कर्मभ्योऽच्छाधिको योगी तस्माद्योगी भवार्जुन. When I was in ninth class in Gajwel, suddenly changes started in my personality. My soul asked me to leave Gajwel as early as possible. I asked my father to send me to Hyderabad. In Gajwel, the teachers were not teaching well and properly, and I would like to go Hyderabad and join in good institution. My father gave me permission and I came to Hyderabad. In a new environment and new circumstances, I was not adjusted. One day I sat in front of Sri Ramachandra portrait and prayed him. I received so much of energy and my fears and my disturbances vanished from me. Next week I bought a small size Gita book, Bhagavad Gita book. It was purchased in the market and started reading after doing bath early in the morning. I decided to read the slokas, though I was not understanding the meaning of slokas. This decision made me to stick to the Lord's feet, otherwise, I wouldn't know the importance of Bhagavad Gita, which changed the way of my thinking process in coming years. I am thinking to improve my concentration power internally. Suddenly, one morning, when I went to library and I was searching some book, surprisingly, I touched a book called Dharana Dhyana Samadhi. This is the most astonishing and surprising event which happened in my life. I think this incident happened to me by the blessing of Lord Sri Krishna Paramatma and by the blessing of Swami Shivananda. Swami Shivananda was a famous Himalayan yogi. He wrote number of books on yoga in simple English language. I think he was my guru in my past life. His ideology created tremendous impact on my conscious and subconscious mind. I studied his books clearly number of times. Not only I read the books, but also I started practicing yoga automatically. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asked some question to Krishna. One who does not make full effort but maintain faith, his mind slipping away from yoga, thereby not attaining full accomplishment in yoga. What state does he come to, O Krishna? Does he perchance fallen from both, vanished like a broken up cloud established in nothing, O Krishna, lost in the path of Brahman? Do indeed sunder this doubt in my mind, O Krishna. It's entirely there is no other who can appropriately be considered a remover of this doubt. The blessed Lord said, O son of Pritha, neither here nor in this life nor there the next is there any danger of his perishing. No one who performs blessed deeds at all goes to an evil state. O beloved, attaining the walls of performance of meritorious deeds, dwelling there for a long period, one who has fallen from yoga is born in the home of pure. Shivananda Maharaj asked us to practice Tratika. That means paying attention on one item, either on Jyoti or light or any other point. We have to see that point for continuously for some minutes. This activity will help us to improve our concentration power. I had performed this activity very often. I had started following Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pratyahara, and Dharana regularly. I know how to do pranayama, but I was not serious in pranayama practice. Patanjali Rajayoga Sutra, written by Patanjali Maharshi. It is the most precious and valuable book in the world. The consciousness level of this book is equivalent to the Vedas and Bhagavad Gita. Different yogis on different times gave comment on Patanjali Yoga Sutras. There were thousands of books which are available in yoga literature on Patanjali Raja Yoga Sutra. By the bless of the God, I came to know about this wonderful book when I was in 10th class only. That was in 1976 and 77. This book is having 4 parts and each part will have its own importance. These parts can explain yoga in theory aspect and explains in practical aspect. And other parts explain about the results of practice of different yoga sutras mentioned in part 1 and 2. If we want physical, psychological, social, spiritual progress in our life very quickly, we should read and follow the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Ultimately, if we want to make ourselves as superhuman beings and develop ourselves as super conscious and understand the universal consciousness, and finally, if we want to free ourselves from birth and death cycle, that is the ultimate goal of our life, we should read and follow the Patanjali Raja Yoga Sutras or principles. I had been following these principles from my adolescence and I would follow my life till I reach my goal, that is moksha or salvation. There are hundreds of sutras out there, and if we follow these sutras, we can get so much of knowledge in yoga, and if we practice these principles, we can reach our goal, that is salvation. And the important sutras in this book are some of the important sutras in book are as follows. First part 1, Tapas Sadvayeshwara Pranidhani Kriya Yoga. I used to pray God for right knowledge, and the God showed the best path to know him through his sons, great yogis. Day by day, I had dropped bad thoughts and bad friends. I had the bad and good friends. I was having bad friends and good friends. Automatically, I was dropping bad friends. Different types of knowledge or different branches of knowledge are opening in me. Thousands of thoughts flowing across my mind. The enemies of man are kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, macharyalu, and they are present in us either in macroscopic or microscopic form. In some persons they are in microscopic, and in some persons they are in macroscopic. According to situation, They will change their form and manifest in our personalities, and these are stumbling blocks to the path of salvation and yoga. When we do meditation on some object deeply, there will be a great interaction in our consciousness and subconscious mind. The microscopic thoughts will rise and show their effect on our mind. Take one mug of water and take one mug and pour some water in it. If we eat the mug of water, the water molecules at the bottom of mug move upward. The higher level molecule would come down. In the same way, the thoughts in the subconscious level, mind level will rise due to meditation. The energy, if any negative or positive ideas, they would come. Positive ideas would come to our consciousness level. They can create impact on our mind. If they are negative, they will disturb us. To control those negative ideas, we should continuously in touch with positive ideas, or either with some mantras, or with divine or spiritual ideas. Reading of good books like Bhagavad Gita certainly help us. Number of negative ideas were raised in me. Thoughts of Gita helped me to control most of the negative thoughts. Anger and lust developed in me, but they were under my control. I was understanding the nature of each and every thought. I was very much aware of the thoughts which are rising in my mind. I knew the methods to control all the ideas. If you want to control negative ideas, don't develop negative thoughts. Instead of negative thoughts, we have to develop positive thoughts. If there is anger, we should develop thoughts of love. If there is anger, hateful thoughts, we have to develop love, thoughts of love. If our mind is filled with fear, we should not live with those fearful thoughts. Instead of living with fearful thoughts, we have to develop with courageous thought. There is one Yoga Sutra which is helping me to follow yoga right way. God, the God provided me number of events in Hyderabad to improve my spiritual knowledge. 1978, I had attended Swami Chinmayananda's Gita Jnana Yajnam in Gosha Mall Stadium. My parents took me to different Punya Kshetrams like Tirupati, Srisailam, Bhadrachalam, Mahanandi and Durga Mata temples at Vijayawada. All these spiritual centers helped me to improve my divinity in me. At that time, I don't know the psychology of meditation. In what way meditation improve the power of our mind? I don't know the knowledge of chakras. In 1979, I read the book of Potuluri Veera Brahmendra Gari Charitra. In this book, he mentioned about chakras. I come across the knowledge of chakras, but I did not pay more attention on that chakras. Now I knew more about chakras. After a couple of months, I saw the results of yoga. Different changes had been observed in me, and I had noted down many of my experience in my diaries. There was continuous fight between positive and negative forces in my mind. Sundara Chaitanya Swami compared our sadhana with Samudra Mardhana by gods and Rakshasas. Yoga is like that. There will be continuous gods and devils. In the course of time, gods will win the battle, and we can get number of fruits of winning that battle. In 1979, 80. I was unable to get sound sleep properly if I don't do meditation. Till this day also I, I cannot sleep happily without doing meditation. It became part and parcel of my life. Meditation organizes our thoughts and mental tension thoughts, and our mental tensions automatically comes under our control within 15 minutes. If we do meditations, endorphins start producing in our brains, and our mind can move away from one pointedness if we concentrating on one thing. It can move to another thing. This is the basic nature of the mind. We should bring back our mind to meditating point. Example, we are concentrating on Jyoti, on Agna Chakra, it will think other things. So we should bring back our mind to the same Jyoti. Movement of our mind in the beginning, my mind was unable to stay at one thing, but gradually it increased its strength to think at a particular thing for a longer time. Swami Sivananda asked the seeker to do meditation on interesting things, beautiful flowers and its uses. Example, I did meditation on beautiful and divine films, Sri Krishna Pandaviyam, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna Avataram, Sri Krishna Tulabharam. All these things, all these films are related to divinity and spirituality. When we concentrate longer time on such type of subject matter, the spiritual thoughts in our brain will increase, and these spiritual thoughts will give us capacity to concentrate more and more. I did meditation on my textbook concepts. I had been meditating on life and leelas of the Lord Krishna. I had concentrated on the wonderful and beautiful things in the world. I had, I had meditated hours together on the lives and words of great people. Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Mahatma Gandhi, freedom struggle movement, Edgar Cayce, and many other great people. I had concentrated on different theories of different philosophies, Aristotle philosophy, Plato philosophy, Karl Marx philosophy, Mahatma Gandhi philosophy, Ramana Maharshi philosophy, Yogananda Maharaj philosophy, and many other philosophies. Meditation helped me to think most complicated theories and philosophies. After some years, I used to concentrate on things, and those concentrated things used to come across my mind very often and used to disturb me. To this problem, I got answer from Swami Vivekananda's works. Concentration should be equivalent to detachment, otherwise, we would face severe mental problems. So, he told the need and use of detachment power. On one occasion, Swamiji said that because of lack of detaching power, he had suffered a lot in his life. So he asked us to develop detachment power simultaneously. I had been practicing these detachment techniques and overcoming my psychological problems. In 2006, I was involved in an accident. A number of negative ideas passed across my mind. I had detached myself, keeping away from these ideas by attaching myself with beautiful experiences in my life. Now also I had been detaching sad incident which took place in June month. By attaching myself with the slokas of Bhagavad Gita and attachment with the powerful mantras and dedicating myself with writing my autobiography, God gave me so much of power of concentration and detachment power. With these powers, I had been overcoming so many worst incidents in my life. Dukeshwan Vignamanaha Sukeshu Vigata Spruha Vitaraga Baya Krodaha Stitadhir Muni Ruchyate. This is the most powerful sloka in Bhagavad Gita, which asked us to keep away from Sukha and Dukkha and don't identify with them. If we don't feel grief when we are in sad, we should not feel grief when we are in sad period. We should not be over happy when we are in good condition. And I had trained my mind to follow these slokas in my day-to-day life. I had come into contact with wonderful incidents. I was not run away with overjoy. And I got first rank in meditation, when I got second rank in B.Ed, and when I got job. Meditation is a mean for self-realization. Self-realization is the ultimate aim of life. Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga are the best ways for self-realization. Dhyana Yoga is important for self-realization. The best way for self-realization is Dhyana Yoga. God provided me all sorts of knowledge to reach Him, and I am trying my level best to follow different paths. Meditation shaped my mind, meditation purified my mind, meditation provided resting power against many physical and psychological diseases. Meditation provided me strength to relax myself from various tensions. Meditation established my relationship with great gurus. Meditation helped me to surrender myself to the God. Meditation improved my creative thoughts and creativity. Meditation is helping me to keep myself in higher consciousness level. Meditation improved my relationship with the God. Meditation improved my intelligence quotient and emotional quotient. Meditation helped me to improve my reading skills, communication skills, and many other skills. Intuition power also improved by consistent practice of meditation. The role of courage is very much important in yoga. Swami Vivekananda said that fear is death and courage is life. Most other people are fear about doing meditation. When they start doing meditation, generally different kinds of thoughts would rise from the subconscious mind and they are not under the control. They think that closing eyes for some time is meditation. They think that there is no need of guidance from gurus and they can feel that they themselves are gurus, masters. A student cannot teach himself if it is there, if there is no need of school and teacher. If a student cannot teach himself, if it is there, there is no need of school, and if it is possible, there is no need of school and teachers. Only who had long past life practice can do tapas and meditation without the help of the guru and the god. Example, Bala Yogis and their brothers. Total knowledge of thoughts and philosophy of yoga is essential to practice yoga. Knowledge of Patanjali Raja Yoga, knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, knowledge of our consciousness and subconscious mind are essential before going to practice yoga. These books are power packed books and they are equivalent to gurus. They can guide us properly. Nature is our best guru. If we want to practice meditation and yoga perfectly, knowledge of food is also very, very essential and important. In Gita, Lord Krishna mentioned about three types of food: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. We have to take sattvic food for better meditation and better practice of yoga. I used to take only vegetarian food. I never tasted non-vegetarian food. I had been not under the influence of non-vegetarians. Sometimes I took eggs only. Not showing interest in now I am not showing interest in eggs also. I never took heavy meals for many years. I used to take meals in the morning and in the afternoon, but not in the night. Now food is under my now food is under my control. Only in the night only I am taking tiffins and fruits. I followed the principles of naturopathy. In Srikakulam and in Khammam I never faced any health problem. I never suffered from hunger. I never feel uncontrollable hunger in my life till now. When I was in 10th class, I had practiced long fastings for more than 1 month. I used to eat only one time. I used to have lunch only. There was no breakfast and no dinner in the nights. After 1 month, I had suffered from fever for 20 days. And then, after recovering from fever, I never felt more anger, but I had changed my food habits and eat according to diet principles of Mahatma Gandhi. Since then, I never faced any problem related to food or diet. In Siddipet, after 54 years, some problems developed in me. By the bless of God, all the problems are under control. In the course of time, I had acquired the knowledge of Ayurveda, knowledge of diet, knowledge of chemical contents of dry foods, fruits and vegetables. I am eating the food according to knowledge of calories prescribed by world famous dietitians. Lord Krishna, diseases are caused by our past birth bad karma, and to overcome the effects of the bad karma, man should do tapa or prayer to the God and take suitable medicines. Edgar, in his past life, was born in Egypt and learned many occult faculties and took his next birth in USA. He identified the past life birth of many people in USA. He was called as sleeping prophet of Virginia. So the yoga can give us knowledge of our past birth. In Patanjali Raja Yoga Sutras, if we follow the Yoga Sutra perfectly, we can get the knowledge of our past lives. In my life, some people suddenly entered and lived and created tremendous impact on my conscious and subconscious mind. After completion of past karma's debts, they left me. In the same way, we could live in some place and after completion of remained karma, we could leave that place. Persons, Srikant, Karim, RK, places, Karimnagar, Srikakulam, Khammam and Siddipet. Lord Krishna said that if any individual does good karma, will born in nice family in next birth and continue his good karma. So he asked us to do good karma. He asked us to do meditation to escape from the cycles of life and death to reach the God. Third eye. Mahayogis and Yoga Sutras say that if you consistently practice yoga day and night, if not regularly, our consciousness level, intelligence quotient level would certainly increase. After a couple of years of practice, automatically our power of comprehension and power to interpret the concepts would increase. The speed in the process of thinking, the speed in the process of comprehension of things would certainly increase. Sometime within the fraction of minute we can understand the situation and produce appropriate responses to our situations. As soon as we pay attention on some issues, we could get the clarity about that issue. No need of reading any book. I had been experiencing all about states of mind. I think this is due to opening of my third eye. We can understand the things without going through the books or without discussions. We can understand the things. That is because of opening of our third eye. During the period of Telangana movement, I had predicted number of events and incidents which are not comprehended by most of the people in the moment. The things happened exactly what I predicted. Mr. Tirupati was surprised to see my predictions. All these things happened due to opening of my third eye. If we do continuous practice of meditation for so many years and or the so many days, our third eye will open. Most of the people around are ignorant of fundamentals of yoga. That is why I don't discuss any issue related to yoga or spiritual experiences with ordinary people. Before 30 years, I came into contact with Edgar Casey and I read his books and saw some videos. His personality strengthened all ideas related to yoga and Indian philosophy in me. The more the meditation, the more the sensibility we can become. In early months of my meditation, I became more sensitive and used to respond very easily. But in the course of time, I had learned all my emotions and I had learned to control all my emotions and stopped overreact, responding. Number of people came into my life as friends, and I asked to give more importance and more respect. I respect. I try to fulfill their wishes or try to help them. Some of my so-called friends came and asked me to write their exams, pasting my photo on their hall ticket. By force, I wrote those exams and decided to not to do such things in the future. In my adolescence, I used to think all the people as nice and innocent, but in the course of time, I had understood the real nature of the people. Now, within presence of teaching skills, this is the important topic in my life. My childhood, in my childhood, my father engaged tutors to us to learn something. I didn't have any precious and valuable memories with my teachers. Up to ninth class, I was studied in government high school Gajwet. Most of the teachers are not efficient and not impressive. Some teachers used to come and read the books and use it to pass time. Some teachers used to come and spend their time in gossip. Some teachers used to come with confused mind and unable to explain. Nobody impressed me. I think most of them were not having subject matter in them and they never used to come to the school with preparation and they come to this education field only to make money for the sake of bread and butter. Most of them didn't know the value of teaching profession. When I came to Hyderabad, I had strong desire to learn many things in the world. In ninth class in English medium in Methodist school, I started observing the behavior of the teachers and the students. I was totally disappointed by the school administration. Teachers' performance and students' behavior was not liked by me. So I decided to take TC and join in other school next year. So I went and joined in government high school Kachgoda, which was running single session. One or two teachers impressed me, but their narrow-mindedness didn't liked by me. In my 10th class, I had searched for good tutors, but in vain. Most of them choose teaching profession or activity to make bread and butter, nothing else. My mental contact with spiritual guru started developing in 1977 and my life was started changing. In intermediate, I came into contact with so many lectures. Most of them were average in their teaching activities. Only one madam, Vijayasri, and her name was Vijayasri. She impressed me and she did her duty properly. She was having very good knowledge in her subject and her pronunciation intonation was melodious and perfect. She was regular to classes and she was perfect in her subject. I can am grateful to her. I had improved my English knowledge, English language. I had spent so much of time in studying English subject. I had prepared notes and she appreciated my performance and she encouraged me in writing English essays. After intermediate, I didn't come into contact with any teacher who is well versed in his subject. Meanwhile, great change took place in my conscious and subconscious mind. Due to continuous and consistent practice of meditation, my consciousness level, my IQ level, and my intelligence, emotional quotient level also rised. In my intermediate first year, so many changes took place in my thinking process. My concentration power increased by leaps and bounds. My hard-working nature and levels of hard working increased. I used to work on educational activities more than 10 hours. We were totally dedicated ourselves to improve our knowledge in our subjects. My friends in intermediate came from Telugu medium and they were poor in English language. I have developed self-learning skills and I have developed self-reading skills. With these skills, I improved my knowledge. When I acquired sufficient knowledge, I had developed so much of confidence, self-confidence in me. In second year, my classmates asked questions in our subjects. I had started clarifying their doubts. I had full confidence in me about my about the my about the subject. Casually, I used to say that I can establish a school in my near future. I had 100% confidence in me that I can provide nice education to the people who come to me. Mr. Arinder, one of my friend, came with a proposal to take over a old school with a little bit of strength, about 50 students. I accepted his proposal and took over that school and entered into teaching field. We had started the school in 1985 and I started teaching all the subjects in the school and in the tutorial. Different students from different media for different subjects came to our school and the institution came and they came to the institution. I taught them different subjects. Most of them were satisfied with our performance and number of students joined in our institution. Here I have developed many organizational skills and administrative skills. At this stage, I didn't have knowledge of criminals around and criminal psychology of the people around me. So-called friends misbehaved with me and I renounced their friendship mentally. Different persons at different times activating the teacher who was in me. Now it was a time for Mr. Sripadade who came into my life in 1986. He was told that I could give him guidance and get tuition, giving, and he would get tuition from me in English and other BA subjects. So he took his father and came to my room in Gauligura, Chaman in Hyderabad, and his father requested me to teach English to his son. I accepted to teach every day in the morning he used to come and sit and talk. I taught him regularly. He liked me very much and continued to come my home. I taught him all the subjects and my proficiency in teaching difficult subjects developed a lot. I wrote a made entrance test and got first rank and I was joined Usmania University College of Education. At this time I was active mentally and physically strong and attractive. I was courageous and confident. My energy levels were very high. Most of our classmates in ML came from Telugu medium and our medium of education was English. Subjects in ML were not so easy. Psychology subject syllabus was very high. I was regular to college. I used to go tuition center at Saidabad regularly and used to teach there regularly. I am earning money while learning. I became I, I became ideal to some people who were around me. Before 2 months of MAD examinations, most of the students came to my home to learn difficult subjects. I read the entire syllabus, psychology syllabus, and ready to teach anybody. I used to teach them hours together. Our classmates never used to go our readers and I cleared their doubts. They used to come my home and I taught them difficult theories and concepts. My teaching skills were very active in me. I explained complex concepts very simply in a day in day to day conversations to different students at the time of examination. When I was in ML, my classmates used to come for and learn from me. I used to teach more than 5 hours every day. We are totally involved in teaching. I was totally involved in teaching and learning process. My classmates and the people around me used to say and think that I would become great in my life. Ordinary persons with less knowledge will become great persons, and great personalities will occupy ordinary position in India. This is a bad fate of India. It is a pitiable condition of India. I have been habituated to explain extraordinary issues or complex concepts in an ordinary language. Most of the people around got benefited with my company. Some of them completed MA Political Science, Ashok. Some of them acquired BEd, Hanmantu, PR, Srikan. Some of them acquired LLB, Raja Ram Ashok Panel. Some of them completed MA, Mr. Jangaya Sri Palade. Some of them completed MA Psychology, K. Pradeep. And some of them completed MA Philosophy with the help of my teaching, but most of them were remained opportunistic and they were never shown any gratitude towards me. Some people I taught psychology, for some people I taught philosophy, for some people I taught political science, for some people I taught administration, for some people I taught English, for some people I taught Telugu, for some people I taught psychology, philosophy and English. For some big person I taught all the subjects. Srikant. The God gave me photographic memory, concentration, power of hard working ability, strong determination, power and dedication, and goal directed behavior. With these I had with these values I had improved myself and helped so many people. Mr. Sripat Ade and I established an institution called Vidyajyoti Tutorials from KG to PG in 1986 with an investment of 250 rupees. During this period, God bless flowed on me like a rain in summer season. During this period, I don't have any financial support from my parents and brothers. My teaching skills helped me to survive and move forward. In Gaulegoda, I used to go to the institute institution at 6 o'clock in the morning and started teaching to intermediate students. I used to teach physics, chemistry, and geology and English subjects. I had engaged other teachers. Sripad Ade is Maharashtrian Brahmin. Once upon a time, his father was a richest merchant in Gauligoda, Chaman, in Hyderabad. They had, they had old building in Gauligoda. In 1985, one of my Marathi friend, Mr. Satish, told Mr. Ade's father that Mr. V. Sudhakar was my friend and he was a clever and was doing M.Ed in Osmania University and go and meet him. He would help you certainly. So Mr. Ade and his father, his age was 82, came and requested me saying that Mr. Ade was innocent, not innocent person, not doing any job and he was facing many problems. He asked me to consider him as my brother and teach him English and other subjects every day. And he would come to my home every day. At the time, I simply accepted his request and I decided instantaneously to help him. He was a man of dignity and Bhakta of Sri Ramadas Samartha. I think Samartha sent him to me to improve his personality in my company. His entry into my life and my entry into his life is a wonderful event in our life. From that day, he used to come my home in Gauligoda. He was sincere in his approach. He was punctual to my home, and I used to teach lessons regularly. At the same time, in Osmania University, in M.Ed College, he used to meet me and take my advice in relation to education and to solve his problems. He was a sincere student to me. In my company, his faculties started expanding. He is having other faculties in his life, in his personality. A, an astrologer was sleeping in him. In one situation, I had identified his latent talent, and that is telling astrology. And I encouraged him to start telling astrology. He was having the capacity to read palm and face. Wherever we go there, I asked him to say the future of persons who are in our contact. He told the past and future of so many people. More than 75% predictions came out as reality. Every day in my home at 7 o'clock, he used to come and sit in my home. I taught him English methodology subjects, psychology, philosophy, administration, and other subjects. And at the same time, I used to give suggestions on different subjects also. Gradually, he became my close companion and considered him as a trustworthy friend. His ego was under his control. He never showed any anger under any circumstances. In my company, his energies were organized. He became courageous and continued his friendship with us. He had very good ability to interact everybody who are in our company. He became my close friend of our family. He told the future of all my family members. He saw the face and palm of all my sister-in-laws and told their future. Meanwhile, he got through the examinations B.Ed with flying colors. He was happy with our company. He learned many things in my company. He is having four or five sisters and one brother. All of his family members were very sincere and we had very good interaction with them. One day we sat in Koti Park in Bank Street. He brought one proposal that why don't we establish a institution in his big home consisting of my I was brought up with music. I am an ordinary person with so many disturbing elements in my consciousness and subconscious mind. Since my childhood, automatically I used to listen the songs of all cinemas. My home at Gajwal was very near to cinema theatre. Every day in the evening at 6 p.m. the owner used to play gramophone recorder. Two big loudspeakers were arranged on either side of the theatre, and Namu Venkatesha, a famous song, used to play in the evening every day. The songs of Sri Venkateshwara Mahatyam were played and they were audible from all the corners of the town. Gradually, my appetite or interest in music developed. I used to listen songs in Vivida Bharati in the radio every day in the night. I used to listen the songs of Ghantashala simultaneously. We used to listen songs of Muhammad Rafi in the beginning. We were brought up with two languages. If any song comes in radio, I used to tell the name of the cinema in which the song was present. At that time, there were no TVs, so our best entertainment was listening to radio songs. And sometimes audio versions of cinemas were also listened by us. Audio versions of cinema used to relayed in the radio. Very soon, cinema production increased and we used to see all types of cinemas in Gajwal Theatre. M.G. Ramchandran dubbed movies from Tamil, Rajkumar's dubbed movies from Kannada, and Hindi films were shown in Gajwal Theatre. We used to enjoy those films. Most of the films were message oriented, family oriented, history oriented, spiritual oriented, and they were filled with beautiful lyrics and melodious songs. There were no vulgar language in them. They have not created harmful effect on the youth, but gradually they lost the values and the vulgarity was started increasing in 1980s. I was fond of Hindi and Telugu songs which when I came to Hyderabad I saw Hindi films especially in the Habits area. Number of theaters are very near to my home, especially Ramakrishna 70 mm, Ramakrishna 35 mm, Ashok, Vikrant, and Navarang. These are the five theaters are very near to our home. I used to see good films in these theaters regularly. My love towards Hindi film developed in 1980s. Gradually, we used to listen the songs of all its songs. We used to listen the songs of all the its films, and the its songs were everywhere. They used to play everywhere. The actors without any discrimination. We used to see the movies of all the actors without any discrimination. In my childhood, my brother-in-law had one gramophone and gramophone recorder of Bhakta Prahlada. We had played that Bhakta Prahlada recorder and listened the songs of Bhakta Prahlada a number of times. In intermediate, my